The 24 elders in heaven. Their identity will shock you. They sit closest to God's throne, clothed in white, crowned with gold, speaking only when heaven itself is about to move. 24 mysterious figures watching history unfold from eternity. And almost nobody truly understands who they are. Like this video, share it with someone who needs it, and subscribe to the Bible Project for more cinematic Bible stories. The door in heaven. The world was silent, not because nothing was happening, but because something eternal was unfolding beyond human sight. John was not in a cathedral, not in a palace, not even in Jerusalem. He was on a lonely island, Patmos, exiled for his faith. And then it happened. A voice like a trumpet, a command that pierced time. Come up here. Suddenly, the atmosphere changed. Earth faded, heaven opened. Light poured through an invisible doorway, and John was carried not with wings, but by revelation itself into the throne room of God. No camera could capture it. No language could fully contain it. But John tried. He saw a throne. He saw one seated upon it, radiant like jasper and carnelian. He saw lightning pulsing through the air. He heard thunder rolling through eternity. And surrounding the throne were 24 other thrones. On them sat 24 elders, still, watching, waiting, clothed in white garments, golden crowns resting on their heads. Not angels, not servants, elders, already enthroned, already crowned, already positioned. Before a single seal was opened, before judgment began, before history reached its climax, they were already there. Heaven's government. John didn't describe them casually. He didn't say figures. He didn't say beings. He said elders. That word matters, because in Scripture, elders are not symbolic decorations. They are rulers. They are witnesses. They are counselors. They are representatives. On earth, elders govern cities. In Israel, elders judge disputes. In ancient courts, elders advise kings. So when John sees elders in heaven, seated on thrones, wearing crowns, something becomes clear. This is not decoration. This is government. Heaven has structure. Heaven has order. Heaven has leadership. And these 24 elders are not standing. They are seated. In biblical language, sitting means authority. Servants stand. Rulers sit. These elders are not waiting for permission. They already possess it. Not angels. Here is where many interpretations collapse. Angels are never described wearing crowns. Angels are never seated on thrones. Angels do not receive white robes symbolizing redemption. Angels do not sing songs about being redeemed by blood, but the elders do. Later in Revelation, they sing, "You have redeemed us by your blood out of every tribe and tongue and people and nation." Angels were never redeemed. They were created. Only humans are redeemed. Only humanity needed blood. Only humanity fell, which means these elders cannot be angels. They speak as those who were purchased. They speak as those who were rescued. They speak as those who once walked the dust of earth. 12 and 12. Why 24? The number is not random. 12 tribes of Israel. 12 apostles of the Lamb. Old Covenant, New Covenant, patriarchs, apostles, promise, fulfillment. 24 represents the complete people of God across every generation, not divided, unified. Heaven does not separate Jewish believers from Gentile believers. Heaven gathers them. These elders appear to represent redeemed humanity in its fullness, from Abraham to Peter, from Moses to Paul, from covenant to cross, from law to grace. They sit as witnesses of God's entire redemptive story. Their white garments. White in Scripture is not fashion. It is testimony. White speaks of righteousness. White speaks of cleansing. White speaks of victory over sin. These elders wear garments washed in blood. Not literal blood, but the atoning sacrifice of Christ. They are not robed in achievement. They are robed in grace. Their purity is not earned. It is given. They are living proof that redemption works. The golden crowns. Crowns in heaven are not cosmetic. They are rewards. They represent faithfulness. They represent endurance. They represent obedience under pressure. Paul spoke of crowns. Jesus promised crowns. These elders wear them. But here is the most shocking detail. They don't keep them. When worship erupts, they rise. They remove their crowns. They cast them before God's throne, not reluctantly, not slowly. They throw them down. Every victory, every reward, every honor. Return to the one who made it possible. Heaven's highest leaders are also heaven's deepest worshipers. Authority bows. Achievement kneels. Greatness surrenders. When heaven moves, they move. The elders appear again and again at critical moments. When seals open, when prayers rise, when judgments begin, when worship crescendos, they speak, they explain, they interpret, they fall down, they worship, they respond to heaven's activity with reverence. They do not control events, they witness them, they affirm God's justice, they celebrate His mercy, they stand as eternal observers of divine decisions, not passive, participatory. The prayers of the saints. One of their most powerful roles is quiet and easily missed. They hold bowls, golden bowls, filled with incense. John tells us what it is. The prayers of the saints. Your prayers do not disappear into silence. They rise. They are stored. They are presented. They are handled by elders. Every whispered cry, every midnight plea, every tear-filled request, collected in heaven, held by crowned witnesses. Your prayers enter divine chambers. They become part of heavenly activity. Nothing faithful is forgotten. The shock. Here is the truth that unsettles many believers. The elders are not distant celestial strangers. They are previews of us. Redeemed humanity glorified, crowned, seated, in proximity to God's throne. The gospel does not merely save you from hell. It prepares you for government. It does not just forgive your past. It positions your future. Scripture says believers will reign with Christ. These elders are the first visible demonstration of that promise. They show what redeemed humanity becomes. Not floating spirits, not faceless souls, but crowned participants in God's eternal kingdom. The throne room erupts. Lightning flashes again. Thunder rolls. Living creatures cry, "Holy, holy, holy." And every time worship rises, the elders fall. 24 thrones empty. 24 crowns hit the crystal sea. 24 voices declare, "You are worthy." Not because God needs affirmation, but because worship is heaven's atmosphere. They bow in recognition of supremacy. Heaven does not debate God's authority. It celebrates it. Your future is hidden here. This vision is not just about them. It is about you. It reveals what redemption is moving toward. The gospel is not merely rescue. It is restoration. Humanity was created to rule with God. Sin disrupted it. Christ reclaimed it, and Revelation shows it fulfilled. The elders represent redeemed humanity fully restored to divine purpose. Seated, crowned, worshiping, governing, participating. Heaven is not your escape plan. It is your assignment revealed. What this means today: if elders once walked earth, then your present obedience matters. If crowns are given for faithfulness, then your hidden choices count. If prayers are stored in heaven, then your quiet moments are powerful. You are not living small. You are being trained for eternity. Every act of integrity, every refusal to compromise, every prayer whispered in weakness is shaping your future authority. Heaven is watching. Heaven is recording. Heaven is preparing you. The 24 elders are not mysteries meant to confuse you. They are mirrors meant to awaken you. They show where redemption leads. They show what grace produces. They show that humanity's story does not end in dust, but in glory. If this opened your eyes, subscribe to the Bible Project for more cinematic Bible stories. And remember, you are not just saved. You are being prepared